Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, and this is a preview of the user management system that we're just implementing. It is going to be a unifying system that will allow us to sync together the lead manager, the Real Geeks administrative pages, and the billing system so that you guys have just a single username and password for all of them. Right now you need a username and password for your lead manager, one for every site you have. You need one for the administrative page where you go to edit your site, and you also need one for the billing system. Like, these might all be the same for you, but we'd actually like to make it so you just have to authenticate against one system. All the user permissions are going to be in it, and it'll just in general be easier for you. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to notice is that when you actually log into the account system, accounts.realgeeks.com, the landing page is different. It's actually going to be, instead of the little blurb of text and your upcoming billing summary, if you have a billing summary, usually, it's actually now just going to be a list of websites that you own or you're a part of in the case of your coworkers. So you'll get a page very similar to this. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm a super user, so I have this little extra black bar, which you guys can ignore. But in general, it's going to be the exact same. These aren't my websites, by the way. These are just ones that I've picked at random to use as examples. And on this page, we've got a couple of options. We've got the site list that you see here. And in each of those sites, you can add or edit users for each of them. You can edit the site and edit the payment information. If you click Edit Site, it's going to take you to the administrative backend for that site. It's just a quick and easy link, so you can get to it fast without too much hassle. It'll take you to the login page if you're not logged in or cookied in. So you can actually use your billing username and password to log into these pages now. You won't need to use your the one that was given to you by Lida when you first signed up. So that's different. The other thing you'll notice here is this payment info. This is just a link to the credit card information. This is going to be different in the future, but right now it's actually just a link to this payment information that you guys are used to. The reason that's there is because we're going to be adding support for billing managers, so you'll be able to have someone in your company take care of your billing for you, so you won't have to worry about it. And that will be different for the sites, so it'll be on a site level instead of a user level, which doesn't really mean much to you guys yet, but you'll see what it means a little bit later, and it'll be, I think, a lot easier for you guys to manage your billing. And last, you'll see this Edit Users option. If you click on it, it opens up a user management page. So at the moment, you guys are going to have just your name there, and it'll have you as the owner, the billing manager, and the administrator for the website, and that's pretty standard. You won't be able to actually edit your permissions, and that's for obvious reasons. You don't want to be able to, like, as the owner, you should have all of the permissions. You don't want to have restricted access to your own site. That just is unnecessarily silly. So the first thing you're going to see on this page is the user list. As I said before, you've got the website address up here. There's a little bit of a preview of what's to come at the bottom here with lead manager permissions, website permissions, administrative access, owner access, and billing access. Right now, those are just that's just a legend for the icons that are going to appear. But we're only releasing the website permissions first. Then we're going to release the accounts permissions, and then we're going to release the lead manager permissions. We're still tweaking them to make sure that they're as easy to use as possible. The website permissions we've got really reduced, and we're actually opening them up to the public, which is different than it was before. If you guys wanted to set up users to take care of your blogs or your content, you actually had to go through us, and we had to make users for you, which was kind of silly. Now you can make those users yourself, and you can set them up with any number of permissions that you like for that website. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first things first, you're just going to click on this add user button. It's going to open up this pretty bland text box that asks you to enter an email. So I'm going to enter just a fake email for a second. Okay, so this is just a fake user. If you click create user, it'll give you a sign up form where you can fill in all their information. And you can click create user that way. However, another thing you can do is actually, if the user already exists, it'll give you a different prompt, but it'll work the exact same way. So if we do, oops, this is a user that already exists, and we've already found it in our database, so we can actually just add this user to our project. And these are that user's permissions. If at the moment this user can't do anything, if we log in as this user on our website, on the administrative website, so in this case myhawaiirealestateonline.com/admin, and tried to use andrewplustest@hq.realgeeks.com, nothing would happen. This user has 0 permissions on that website. They can't do anything. However, if we go into their permissions and give them blog manager access or content manager access or site settings manager access, they'll be able to access that level of permissions. A user can have any number of these. It doesn't matter how many you give them, but if they have none, they won't be able to do anything. Something to note about the website in particular is that if you give someone permissions to any of these levels on the website, they will be able to access your file manager. That is just because all of these things require access to the file manager. If you're updating site settings, you're going to want to be able to adjust the header logos. If you're updating content, you're going to want to be able to add pictures to your content. And if you're updating the blog, you're going to want to be able to add pictures to your blog posts. That might change in the future. We might add another permission to see if they have read, write, or edit access to the file manager. But for the time being, they all have access, free reign to the file manager. So that's something to keep in mind when you're adding these permissions. And to add the permissions, all you have to do is just click on the ones you want to give them, click submit, and then they can actually just go to the administrative page with the username and password they have for this email address. So they'll log in with this email address, andrewplustest@hq.realgeeks.com, and their password on the admin page. So this address here, admin, and it should just log them in and give them just the right number of permissions and access. And that's pretty much all there is to it. In the future, we're going to be adding, like I said earlier, accounts access, so you'll be able to have people come in and set up administrators. They'll also be able to look at your receipts if you like. Hopefully we'll also be looking at billing managers, so people can take care of your credit card information for you so you don't have to. Just for convenience purposes, sometimes you have finance people in your bigger companies. And we're also going to be looking at the lead managers, so we can set up agents that way. We can set up lenders, whoever you need. They will all be able to access with just the number of permissions that they require. Removing users I've done earlier, it's pretty easy. You just click on this remove button, acknowledge it, that's done. Password resets. If you set up a user and for some reason or another they forget their password, you can actually just click this button and it will send them an email to that email address, andrewplustest@hq.realgeeks.com, and they will have a button inside their email that will allow them to reset their password. This is just so you guys don't have to keep tabs on everyone's password. You're not going to be able to log in as these users right now. You might be able to in the future, especially if they're under your purview as agents in the lead manager. Right now it's just not a feature we require yet, but it will be coming down the pipeline. And yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email support@realgeeks.com. If it's a question about billing or your payment info, remember you can always contact us by phone at 808-261-0616 at this number here, and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks a lot, and I hope you guys have a great day. Happy sales. Bye-bye.